Hey guys, Tim and Shawna from Punk Rope, and we're going to talk to you today about jump rope beginner mistake number 6, which is the one arm dominant turn. So Shawna's right-handed, and it is very common that you are going to turn a little more forcefully with your dominant hand. It's not usually a big deal. There's her windmill swing on the right side, and by comparison on the left side, so maybe not quite as smooth, but we'll go ahead and have Shawna just start to jump her regular jump, and we'll see if we notice anything. So pretty balanced, and look at that arc, dead center, right over her head. That's what we're keying on, is the beauty of that arc. Now if you look very closely at her wrists, I'm going to try to zoom in, you might just pick up that there's a little bit more power in that right wrist, but it is oh so difficult to tell. Okay, now that's Shawna, very proficient, skilled jumper. But back to mere mortals, a lot of people when they first start out are going to really dominate with one arm. And typically it's going to be their dominant hand. So if they're lefty, it'll be the left hand. If they're righty, it'll be the right hand. And there'll be certain telltale signs of that. So we're going to let Shawna exaggerate the turn with her right hand, and now look what's happening. The arc of the rope all of a sudden has swung way over to the left. Now what does that do? That means the rope is going to go at that angle, boom, and there's the catch. Now it can catch in a couple of different places. She's going to have less margin of error on the right side. You can see it right now. There's only an inch or two. But it could also catch on her left heel. Either way.
It technically did.
It did, yeah. So
my feet aren't always very symmetrical.
it could catch either way, but the bottom line is she missed, and that's frustrating. So what you're going to want to do if you notice, or if your coach notices that you're dominating your turn with one hand, is go to your wrist trainer or fold your rope in half. And you're going to want to practice the turning skill with the non-dominant hand. And specifically, we're really focusing on the wrist. We want to make sure you're getting good wrist rotation. Pronation is turning down, supination turning up, so you're able to go through the entire range of motion. We want to make sure that that rope is staying parallel to your feet or perpendicular to your body. It's not crossing the midline, it's not sliding back towards your heels. And once you're comfortable with that, we want to make sure you're able to get a decent amount of speed. And then for the sake of comparison, you can switch over to your dominant hand and see if you feel basically the same. You have the same dexterity, mobility, proficiency, and confidence too. And if you do, then you go back to your jump.
Can I make one suggestion?
Absolutely.
When you do your windmill swing practice, just pretend you're actually turning the whole rope. Like
both bilateral, both hands.
Go into the posture as if you were going to do it. Don't look at your hand
Yeah, don't look at your hand.
Take everything out of how your shoulder will be. Get
exactly.
into the same posture you would if you were going to jump.
Yeah, it's a really great suggestion, because sometimes people will just let their posture go to to pot and
Look
split
at
their
it.
stance, and they'll just stare at that hand, and you don't want to do that because that doesn't replicate what you'd be doing when you're actually jumping. And then we go back to our jumping, in this case basic bounce, and we'll try to increase our body awareness, our mindfulness, and see if we've been able to correct the problem. If it persists, we go back to our windmill swing and we just keep working on it. And as with all challenges and bad habits, once you recognize it, stop. You have to stop. You got to back up and you got to go through your progressions to make sure you address it, correct it, and then you can move on. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck dealing with that same problem. Okay, guys? So that's how to fix the one-arm dominant turn, and we got another
suggestion.
Another suggestion.
You decide to invest in wrist trainers.
So
you really
these,
feel the difference if you.
this is a pair of wrist trainers. The ones that we carry are in black. They are half a jump rope.
Both at the same time.
And with this, you can both feel the end of the cord hitting the ground, and you can see it, and you can hear it. Now, if there was a big discrepancy, you would know. You would feel the difference, you would see the difference, you would hear the difference. So these are in our shop, just called Wrist Trainer, but you can make your own, and there's other companies that carry them. So. Guys, thanks for joining us. I hope that's helpful. Feel free to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any questions, jot them down in the comments below and we'll answer them as soon as we can. All right, see you next time.